This is Fred Jones calling from the Fred Factor. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm well, Fred.
You must be doing well. You can finally say to everyone, hey, I told you so about that Scott Young guy.
Yeah.
You were right, sir. He is a bit of a creep.
A bit of a creep?
Yes.
No, he's an exemplary creep.
An exemplary creep. Well, I got to say, you were on it. You've been talking about Scott Young and about how you think he's not a very good mayor and how you think basically he doesn't have the city's best interest at heart. You said that all the way along, sir. And this past week, I guess it was kind of verified when he pled guilty to this assault charge and this breach of probation charge, agreeing that he was guilty of slapping around Colleen Preston, kicking Glenn Shaw in the ribs, and having rope in his pockets. I guess you can say that you kind of called this one.
Thank you, Fred.
Well, how does it...
While I was sitting here waiting for your call, I picked up the pump for my wife's exercise ball. Fred, I'm going to give you an experience. Fred, you just attended a city council meeting in Port Coquitlam.
Is that what it's like, really?
Yeah, Tony's pumping and the city council blowing.
Wow, that sounds right. Pat, I'm going to get you to speak up just a little bit here so everyone can hear you in our chat room tonight.
All right.
How does it feel to be right? I mean, you said at the very beginning, Scott Young's no good, he's bad for PoCo. Are you feeling kind of vindicated now for everything?
No, he's still there.
That's true.
So, he's won.
You think Scott Young has won this battle?
Yeah, he's still there. He's going to run for mayor.
You actually think, with a criminal conviction, he's going to run for mayor?
Why not? He's just an ordinary guy, with faults. Now he can say, look, you used to think I was perfect. I went out there and did my best to prove I'm just human.
Well, I guess he could make that argument. I don't know that anyone would believe him. At this point, it seems very strange to me that he would even consider that. But what's stranger, sir, is that he actually admitted to being guilty, because you and I talked about it, that he would actually kind of try and get acquitted, and you thought there was a good chance he would actually get acquitted.
Yes, I did. I've been thinking that over, and I guess that was the best bargain. Everybody would, from Scott Young's viewpoint, that's the best bargain to which all the others would agree.
All the others, you mean city council or these developers?
Well, I don't know. City council may have had a role in this, but, Colleen Preston had to agree. Glenn Shaw had to agree. Dan Lowe, the head crown, Emmett Duncan had to agree.
Yes, everyone, I guess, did sort of have to come on board with that for it to be correct.
And as Duncan said, right at the trial, the year went by because they had to convince Scott Young that these were the least charges to which he was pleading guilty. And I guess he was also promised no punishment, significant punishment.
Pat, I have to say, from the very outset, I mean, I was talking, well, you were bad-mouthing Scott and saying, oh, this guy's kind of a jerk, he's kind of a creep, he's not a very good mayor. I was saying the opposite. I was saying, actually, I like this guy, he answers all my phone calls, he seems a very upfront and accountable mayor. I actually voted for him in 2005, and I never vote at all, period. I voted for this guy, and now I'm in a very uncomfortable position of thinking, 5 months ago I was in this guy's office after he had this little insane episode where he kicked somebody in the ribs, and there's this nefarious rope in his pocket where allegations are being made of some sort of murder-suicide pact. This guy isn't who I thought he was at all.
Well, so you were con-based. You can't con people if they think you're nasty. You have to work on being agreeable, charming, pleasant, and then when you're gone, they have shares with which to paper their bathroom.
Well, I suppose, as you said, I'm not used to being hoodwinked in such a way. I actually thought I knew Scott Young quite well, and I thought we had a good business relationship. And then he kicks me out of his office when, this is the arrogance of the man. I was in this interview to do the year-end interview, as I always do, and he restricted the conversation to city business only, as if I would want to discuss something else. And he didn't even concede at that point that the arrest of the mayor was city business. Even back then, he didn't think he'd really done anything wrong, which is why his guilty plea is so surprising. You know, why didn't he just plead guilty a year ago and save the city all this trouble? Does he just not care?
No, he did not care. I was going through clippings, and I came upon his apology. And rereading his apology in light of his admission, I realized that he admitted it then. You know, I wondered how he could make that apology and successfully plead not guilty to everything. And rereading it, I realized he couldn't.
No.
He had telegraphed his guilty plea then, and I was being stupid. So it's not, you know, you're not alone, Fred. I was stupid too. And the people of Port Coquitlam who voted, they can say to themselves, we were stupid as well. There's quite a collection of stupid people.
Okay, you said it, not me, but I agree. Do you think they're stupid enough to vote for this guy again if he were to say, okay, now I'm guilty of abusing my former girlfriend and kicking someone in the ribs and thinking about killing them and myself, vote for me? Do you think they're that stupid?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I can tell you, you know, that the man is arrogant. I mean, I read you this letter, right?
Yes, you did.
That Susan Rao sent. Now, this is not Susan Rao, okay? This is Scott Young. It's signed by Susan Rao, but it's Scott Young. Dear Mr. Alambets, reappearance at council. Having received a number of concerned enquiries, both internal and external, regarding your actions and inappropriate use of props during the May 12, 2008 council meeting, I reviewed the videotape of the meeting and spoke with individuals in attendance. The city cannot allow staff or members of the public to feel intimidated by your actions. You must cease and desist this practice.
Right.
Please note that Section 133 of the Community Charter empowers the person presiding at a council meeting to expel a person from the meeting for acting improperly, and then it quotes 133. But, you know, I would have hated to be there when poor old Susan Rao received the concerned inquires, internal and external. That must have been ugly.
It's funny, you get a letter saying, oh, we can't have you using props in a council meeting, but they condone a mayor who beats people up.
Oh, yeah. And that's because I will go to city council meetings and say, you're a criminal, Scott Young, and you've admitted it. Why are you sitting there?
And then, of course, they want to kick you out of the meeting instead of the criminal.
Yeah, because I have made that little boy's mistake and said the emperor's running around starker.
The emperor does have no clothes anymore, that's for sure. But it looks like he's not going to have to wear jail clothes. It looks like he's going to skate by on this with community service. And forgive me if I'm wrong, Scott, or Pat, but isn't being the mayor community service?
Yeah, I was thinking as they were going to bar that old entrance, they could put in some plexiglass and a heater, and Scott Young could be behind bars and still do his job as mayor.
Wow, that's
what
true.
A combo.
That's true. So you're going to go on record and say you think there are people stupid enough to vote for Scott Young in this fall's election should he decide to run?
Not only do I think there are some people stupid enough, I think the developers can buy enough people stupid enough to get him reelected mayor.
Wow. Well, if that happens, I think there's going to have to be some sort of riot.
I guess you should start organizing riots, get your ropes knotted, your lampposts picked out, because that's where it's going.